that he had put her head on a shelf and screamed at it for an hour, threw darts at it, and ultimately smashed her face in. He also cut her tongue out and her larynx and put them in a garbage disposal.
Tell me in a sentence who you are. I'm nobody. I'm a bum. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight racer if you get too close to me.
Do you ever feel violence?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feel like killing people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like killing people.
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Jeff?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Jeff. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
December 15th, 2022. A gray Indiana morning. Interstate 70 stretching across the winter landscape like a cold, endless corridor. A white Hyundai Elantra moves eastbound, steady, unremarkable, blending into the flow of traffic. Inside the car, Bryan Kohberger and his father. They're driving home to Pennsylvania for winter break. They don't know they're being watched. They don't know investigators are tracking every mile. At 10:41 a.m., a Hancock County Sheriff's deputy initiates a stop. A routine violation, but nothing about this case is routine anymore. Welcome to the Murder Podcast Show.
Good evening, fancy Saturday evening, all you Murder Podcast Show fans. Welcome in. We are coming to you here on some newer broadcasting software that I've got here. So notice a little bit of different changes there in your transitions and all that fancy jazz. The shit that nobody cares about but me, the architect. So
Hey, we think it's awesome.
Well, you guys are getting close over there on the couch. Anyways, I am your host, per usual. Tim is my name, a.k.a. The Architect. And alongside of me is my co-host.
Criminology, Chris.
Yes. Good evening, all.
And alongside of Criminology, Chris is the director of all of our social media platforms, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
I hope you don't ever feel left out that we haven't created a soundbite for you yet.
No, let's not.
My soundbite that I had back in the day, real quick, is this one. I swear, I'm never ready. Because I never was. The image is sharper.
It
David.
is. We've noticed that.
Yes. The image, it's going to take me time to play around with this, but I got it yesterday. But what it does is this is like what a lot of the pros use and all that, and it's amazing. It'll be a lot easier for when I share photos and videos and stuff. No more of turning my neck completely around me to drag it onto that screen. It's all done here now at the control center. Ooh, it's my control center. So let me get started here. We have our sponsor here. We have Crafty Corner by Laura. Laura makes a wide selection of handmade crochet plushies, both cute and creepy. Animals, pop culture, fantasy, anime, and horror. They also specialize in custom orders, like in front of my monitor there, our new voodoo doll that we just got.
Isn't that really cool?
Isn't that thing is sweet? And it's big too.
Yeah. It's so soft.
So you can follow Crafty Corner on Instagram at the.crafty.corner.by Laura. That's right. You got 3 dots in there. Learn where they go. So anyways, yeah. And I heard she's got some more stuff too. So thank you, Laura, for making us that, voodoo doll there. Oh yeah, everybody in the chat. I don't have the chat up over here on my end yet, so I can't. Raptor Jesus, hi. Unsafe. Hello, welcome in. Got the Jesus praying hands there. Up, the camera went to me
The
now.
preach.
David, Cake Maker, we appreciate you guys being in here per usual. So we are going to jump over to Classroom Jackie to do her 1 minute of murder here.
Classroom Jackie's 1 minute of murder.
All right, guys. So we're going to do our quick social media rundown. And then we have a really cool update about some cold cases that have been going on for the past few years that have become big again. So with our Instagram, we are still at 30 followers, unfortunately. That's not getting very much traction, but we're trying. Our Facebook, we have 117 followers. Our Instagram went up by 2 followers in the last 2 days. We're at 156 now.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy. And last but not least is our TikTok. Guys, we're almost at 1,300 followers.
Yeah, the TikTok's growing. It definitely, it has
TikTok
been.
is going insane.
It has been growing consecutively for, I don't know, probably the last, maybe 4 months or so, three or 4 months, something like that. Because we've been doing this 6 months now, right? Isn't that? No. 6 months, something like that. We figured out a few weeks back. And we checked numbers too on the streaming platforms. We're not as high in Vietnam as we were. It's okay though. Now Vietnam has dropped out. They must be sick of me saying that I was in Nam. And it's now Canada. Canada's not real high up there, but Canada's climbing in there too. And we've had, what do we have? I just looked and I forget. I looked today and it was in the last 7 days. It's like 120 streams now in 7 days or something.
Right.
ridiculous.
And over like the last month, it's been 1,200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome for sure. So anyways, we are going to jump in. Oh, you guys already know.
Wait, hold on. We have the update of the 2 big cases going on right now.
Classroom Jackie wanted to update you guys on something that's going on right now. Go ahead.
So one of our first episodes we did with Tim when we joined the show was the Texas killing fields. And there is an update for the case. After being such a cold case for so long, the Texas killing fields is that stretch of land between Houston and Galveston where dozens of women were found murdered between 1970 and all the way through the 90s. As of recently, a man named James Elmore Jr., 61, has been indicted in connection with 2 of the murders, the death of Laura Miller and Audrey Cook. Elmore has been charged with manslaughter and felony tampering with evidence. These indictments come with a 40 years after the murders. If he is found guilty, he will spend the rest of his life in prison. His trial is stated to come out August 24th, 2026. So we can go back to covering that now.
Oh, that's going to be a wild one, yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the original guy who they thought it was had just offed himself the week before this guy was caught. The original
That's
suspect.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it us that cracked the case, guys? No, I'm just kidding.
highly doubt that.
And then
No, FBI, please don't come after me. I'm not claiming
we didn't do it.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna jump to New York, where after how many years? It's been a while.
The Long Island, like Gilgo Beach.
Yeah,
Right.
Rex Herman. He has pled guilty to killing 8 women
Jeez.
for the murders of, I'm gonna butcher this name, Gilgo Beach murders. Those ones. That was from it was closing a case that began in 2010 but stretched all the way back to 1993.
Yeah.
That was one of those unsolved cold cases for so long, and
I
now
remember seeing specials on them. Yeah, not being able to figure that out.
So what made him come out?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Well, we'll find out because his formal sentencing is June 17th of 26.
Yeah.
He's going to spend life in prison without parole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, you heard it straight from Classroom Jackie that we got 2 cases there that are pretty big that have been going on as in cold cases for quite some time now. So
Yeah.
it's always crazy when the cold cases come back, and it's always neat when they come back up and there's possible suspects, or like in this case, the guy came forward,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but kind of
There's
curious.
been more to it.
We'll have to keep an
There
eye on
probably
those.
is, but I'll do a little bit more digging. I'll do a little update on our Facebook and things like those once I do a little bit more.
We just heard
But-
about it. We didn't want to dig
Yeah.
Yeah,
too far
definitely.
into this.
We just because it's two big cases
Yeah.
that we were getting ready to cover, and now there's updates.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's really cool.
And in case anybody new in here, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right. What happens when you subscribe to it and hit the little bell, and that will notify you every time that we go live, which we greatly do appreciate it. So other than that, I think it's time that we jump on here and we get things rolling. You guys already know part 2 of the Idaho 4, the Bryan Kohberger case.
And this is going to get dark.
This is going to get really dark. I have a lot of documents again that I will go over. I was also told some people were they were impressed with my court reading files last week, my text reading. These two here were like, holy crap, how'd you do that DM and BF back and forth?
Yeah, I would have gotten so confused.
It's called years of trials that I've watched. So anyways, if you guys remember last week, it was where the first, traffic stop after the murders had happened. So that is where
we're going to
pick up.
The deputy approaches the passenger side. Kohberger rolls down the window. His face is pale, tired, and the look of someone who's been driving for hours. His father leans forward, polite, explaining they're coming from Washington State University and heading home for the holidays.
The deputy asks a few questions, nothing unusual, where they were headed, how long have they been driving, and whether they know they were following too closely. Kohberger answers quietly, measured, and controlled. His father fills the silence, talking about the long trip, the weather, and the miles ahead of them.
The deputy doesn't push. He doesn't ask anything out of the ordinary. He issues a verbal warning. But what Kohberger...
What was that?
I read ahead.
But what? Crap.
I got the horn.
The horn's back.
Unsafe will be happy. The damn horn's here.
Yeah.
But what Kohberger doesn't know is that this stop isn't about traffic violation. It's about observation. Investigators want to see him, how he moves, how he speaks, and how he reacts when confronted by law enforcement.
They want updated footage. They want to confirm the car. And they want to keep an eye on him without tipping him off. And they're not done.
Just minutes later, literally minutes, the Elantra is pulled over again, this time by Indiana State Police. Same stretch of the highway, same reason, following too closely. Who's he following too closely? Somebody else on the road or the cop?
Another van or another vehicle.
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know if he was like following too closely to a cop because I'm like, well, that's dumb. Why would you do that?
You're right. The ass of a cop.
Yeah, right?
That would make sense.
I try to stay back.
Oh, yeah.
Steer clear of that.
Mm-hmm. The trooper approaches the driver's side. Kohberger keeps both hands on the wheel. His father looks confused, almost irritated, at being stopped twice in such a short span. The trooper asks where they're coming from. Kohberger answers, Washington State University. The trooper asks where they're headed. Kohberger answered again, Pennsylvania. His voice is calm, controlled, and almost rehearsed.
Mark and Betty, good morning wherever you are. You must be I'm trying to.
From the UK.
Yeah, are you guys from the UK? Or I don't know. We have a couple UK people that come in here occasionally, but good morning to wherever you are.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. Yeah, thanks for joining us. The trooper glances into the car, luggage, snacks, GPS mounted to the dash. Nothing unusual. Nothing, okay, I got this word. Don't tell me now. Incriminating. The UK. All right. Classroom Jackie got it right.
Hey!
But that's not the point.
The point is the footage, the interaction, and the behavior under pressure.
The trooper issues another warning. No ticket, no escalation, no search. Just a second brief counter, recorded, logged, and quietly added to the growing investigative picture.
Remember in the video when we watched, the officer said, well, if you just got a warning, I'm not going to give you a ticket for just getting a warning a minute ago, and let him go.
I'm going to see if I can grab that body cam footage video of that real quick, too. Because I have some other body cam footage that we're going to do, too. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already covered it.
We already covered it. What is it, research?
No.
It was the UK. He said maybe it was.
I did. I said maybe. And then
yeah.
they agreed.
Thanks, Jackie. That's for you.
Subbed and liked. Thank you, Mark and Betty.
you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. What time is it there in the UK right now?
Right, I don't know.
Question, going back to last week's episode from the picture of the blood on the foundation, given construction standards, how could the blood run out of the house down the concrete?
They said there was just so much blood from where the victims and how much came out of them from the stabbings and how violent it was that it ran from the side of the house in between and down the foundation. You also have to remember it's a college house, so it probably
it's an old house too.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of the cracks, the walls, and under the floorboard.
It
That's just
probably
it.
The landlord probably did landlord specials all the time because it is a college student's housing.
Oh, 118. Okay. So yeah, because we had talked about that last week as well, David, and yeah, the older house, there could be cracks, there could be a hole down in between where the floor meets the wall and all that too, and there's no basement.
Right.
So it's pretty much like, my house here just sits on a slab. So yeah, and when there's that much blood like that, I had never heard of anything like that happening before until we were covering this. Because in a lot of murders and crime scenes, you don't ever hear that happening.
Right.
So... But there was a lot of
also,
stabbing.
And we looked through the pictures. That house wasn't the cleanest, and a lot of things were broken in there. So.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm going to grab this footage real fast.
The Elantra pulls away again, engine rising as it merges back into the traffic. To Kohberger, it's an annoyance. To investigators, is confirmation. The car is moving east. The suspect is calm. And surveillance can continue without alerting him.
Wow, that's not what I wanted to do. But I got it, though. Okay. To the public, the stops look random. 2 traffic warnings on a long cross-country drive.
But investigators later confirmed they were part of a broader strategy. A way to maintain visual contact without revealing the scope of the investigation.
They wanted to see his hands, demeanor, reactions, and his eyes.
They wanted to confirm the Elantra's condition, the plates, the interior, and the driver. And they wanted to buy time while the lab worked on a crucial piece of evidence, the DNA recovered from the knife sheath.
These stops weren't mistakes. They were chess moves.
And the next move would happen 2,000 miles away. DNA forensics and Oh, you can give me the horn.
Man, that's like 3 in an episode.
That's 3.
Downhill.
Just on me. Just on me.
I don't even know what to say now. While Kohberger and his father were driving across country, investigators in Idaho were working on something else. Something that could tie everything together. Inside the Idaho State Crime Lab, technicians were analyzing a single critical piece of evidence recovered from the King Road home.
A knife sheath, left behind on a bed a detail that would become one of the most important forensic anchors in the entire case. To be specific, it was next to Madison Mogan's body on the bed.
Yeah, and that's what Chris was talking about in a few of the
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it did. It came down just yeah. That's crazy. Chris was saying that that was one of the many mistakes that he had made.
Yeah.
That was one of them, leaving that there. And I wonder too if what was it? Oh, if that's why he went back the next day too, if he was trying to
See if anybody was there yet, or
yeah,
there was any
yeah,
commotion to try to retrieve something like that.
yeah.
It kind of makes you wonder.
That makes you do, because it's like maybe he realized that he had left it or forgot it
He had
or
it.
something. Yeah. Because to go back like that, and then that's where they ended up pinging his phone.
Yeah.
Back there. But yeah, because why would you randomly go back unless he was proud of what he had done, so he wanted to go by and see the crime scene tape and be like, yeah, I did that. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, but we won't know.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember when we were watching some of the interviews, some of the students that were in the classroom that he was the student teacher for said that he always was very serious, very straightforward. And after the murders, as he kept going, he started getting more disheveled and was being nicer when he was grading papers instead of being straight to the point and serious.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I have the body cam footage here, and I will get that rolling for us right now. This is when he is being stopped with his dad, like we had just mentioned a little bit ago. So give me 1 second here. Too many screens.
Getting his like GM pump.
Once you came on my body, it's been done now.
Well, stabilizing the registration. All right, I stopped him when you were driving by me there. You were a little too close to back at scene. I'm going to get in back straight. Run that one car for 10 miles an hour. So, 60 so you know, 6%. Oh, you guys dead? Yeah. You guys stopped by a trooper? We don't have any SUVs. It was a county guy. Was it like a black SUV? Okay. All right. And you said you guys following too closely? Okay. What happened about your SUV when my son goes to school? Is that?
So yeah, I just wanted to play a little bit of it there.
That was the second stop.
Yes, that was the second stop.
And we were wrong. We said that he stepped over on the driver's side when it was actually the passenger side.
Passenger side, yeah.
Sorry,
That's
guys.
all right. We are allowed to make mistakes.
That makes more sense. He didn't pull that far off the road. I would have got off the passenger too.
Yeah. Mark, that's very true. You would have heard everything in that house, you know, paper thin like that. Oh yeah, and his dad want to talk about is on these traffic stops is the Brent. Yeah. Okay. So moving on here. On that sheath, investigators found a partial DNA profile. Not a full, don't honk the horn, sequence. Would you stop it? But enough to compare, enough to start building a genetic picture.
Hey, as long as one of us gets it right, I think we're free from the horn, okay?
Is that how it works now?
Yes, that's how it's going to work. But they didn't have Kohberger's DNA directly. They didn't have a sample from him on file. So investigators turned to a method that was becoming increasingly common in modern forensic work: familiar DNA comparison.
Agents traveled to Pennsylvania. They collected trash from outside of his parents' home, legally, quietly, without alerting anyone inside.
From the trash, they obtained DNA belonging to Kohberger's father. And when they compared it to the DNA from the knife sheath, well, before we jump into that part, Kohberger bagged every single piece of his own trash into little bags and took it out of the big trash, like
Yeah.
the big family trash. He also was seen cleaning his car with latex gloves on, and
Yeah.
anytime he touched anything, he had these gloves on.
Yeah, he had, OCD extreme. We talked about that last week. And we actually have a lot of crime scene footage, and we have footage from his apartment, and we'll get into that. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah, he bagged
There
like
is
everything.
over 900 photos. We won't go through them all that I have from FBI, and a lot of it's in his car
Oh,
too.
from
Pictures,
the Idaho police it was from.
and they stripped the car out inside. They stripped everything out, took the door panels off, took the cloth off the seats to where it was just the bare frame, and then they had all that white stuff all in there too, which we'll show you guys that on there too. I don't know what that was, but
It looked like an airbag went off.
yeah, something. It looked like,
crazy.
it was just really weird.
Like somebody hit it with a fire extinguisher, but
Yeah.
he was also putting his trash into his neighbor's garbage, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so the match was strong. A direct, link.
Familial.
Well, yeah. A statistical probability so high it could not be ignored.
This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't a maybe. This was the moment investigators knew they were closing in.
While the DNA was underway, investigators were also reconstructing the whole entire timeline, minute by minute, every move that he was doing. They were, watching it. As they said before, it was their chess moves.
They analyzed CCTV footage from around the King Road neighborhood. They tracked the white Elantra circling the area multiple times before the murders. They mapped the car's movements with precision.
They reviewed phone data, tower connections, the pings, period of silence, and they looked at when when his phone was on and when it was mysteriously off. We had talked about that last week. Before he got to the King Road house, he had actually, we don't know if he turned it off or put it into airplane mode to where it wouldn't ping. So that's what they were checking into.
They examined digital footprints, searches, locations, patterns. Every piece of data was layered into a timeline that grew more detailed by the day.
With each new piece evidence, the picture sharpened, movements aligned, and the timeline solidified.
The forensic case wasn't built on one detail. It was built on the pattern, the convergence of multiple data points pointing in the same direction. Now, an interesting thing about how this is very much based off of the digital footprints and the cell phone and everything. Kohberger, when he was back in school, he did a research paper and had two topics that he had to choose from. Interestingly enough, the second topic was the digital forensics and footprints of being able to be used in trials.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That was in the one. Yeah.
And we'll pull that up later, but it's crazy. Well, not crazy, but it's interesting.
In a lot of the evidence pictures they took at his apartment, a lot of his research papers that you can read in there, man, it's just crazy to see. He actually wrote, really well.
Extremely well.
I think you
Yeah.
made that remark too, Chris. He wrote really well. And then, of course, you see the teacher's notes in there and, change this, fix that, blah, blah, blah. But he did write really well. And then the collection of books that he had, we'll show it, the collection of the crime books and the police and law books and, arrest and people doing, one of the books was on somebody that was serving like life in prison or this or that. And it's like, holy cow, man. He had like, the whole picture was just books.
Well, yeah. When you get to that point, you amass quite the collection. I can tell you, even when I got out of college, I I had enough books to like sell them by the yard.
Yeah.
Because sweet deal. You go buy your damn books at the friggin' bookstore and at the university, and you think you could be able to sell them back after the class is over, but half the time they wouldn't take your stinking book back, so you kind of got stuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a monster pile.
Well, I would imagine, especially for a criminal justice major, you probably had way more than you needed.
Stacks, yeah.
Way more.
And each one was far more expensive than it should have been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chris is like, I had stacks on stacks.
Yeah, I
Of
wish
books.
I wish I could have get back the same money I spent on them. I would have been rich for a college kid.
Oh, you just found the paper.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. That's section 2, I believe, was the topic.
Yeah, I have to... This one?
I think so. I can't read it from here.
Yeah, the
That one.
utilization of technology presents as a profiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll bring that up here in a minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's and his, apartment, it's weird because some of it was very messy. A lot of it looked like it wasn't even really lived in. Very
Minimalistic.
empty, minimalistic, yeah. And it was like some of it crap was just thrown in cupboards and thrown in the fridge, the freezer. But then there was other parts where you could tell he had it neat, organized. Like all of his cleaning supplies under the sink were like perfect. And
there were certain things he probably paid attention to. And let's be honest, if he was a PhD candidate and he was teaching on the side and all that others, he probably wasn't there a whole hell.
Yeah, but then there were certain things he had bagged. I remember we kind of looked at it and we're like, holy shit, he had bagged a few things in plastic baggies that it was like things that we normally would not bag up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think half the time when I was in college, I'd go home and I'd sleep and that was it. Otherwise, I wasn't there.
Well, it was pretty much just a roof above your head at that time,
Just, yeah. Otherwise, you're in a library or you're somewhere or falling asleep on a table in a classroom.
Yeah. As Bryan and his father continued their drive east, the FBI tracked them quietly through the plate readers, cameras that were on the roads, and coordinated law enforcement across multiple states. So the plate readers, is that like a... Well, I guess that just means what the cops use in their car to scan the plates when they put it in the system. I'm assuming that's what they mean by that, because I don't think they put any tracker on the car. He would have kind of noticed that.
You know how on some of the big highway signs, there's those cameras that point down?
Yeah. And
those are plate readers as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah, or like on turnpikes and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, if you blow through there, because like PA especially, they have it to where you can pass right through.
Yeah, you don't have to stop, which is the majority of places. Like, us in crazy old Ohio, like, we didn't get around to figuring that one out for a while yet, but some places they have. But
we're slow out here, okay?
It's nice. I mean, I think Canada did that for a long time. They just drive through it and they mail you a bill,
Yeah. That's why we're the state that has the Ohio Grassman,
They should.
So it's gotta be.
We got all sorts of weird cryptids.
Yeah, we really do. And we have a lot of serial killers that come from out of here. Yeah. And a lot of famous rock stars too, but serial killers,
stuff,
like
vent airplanes and things. I mean, so just good stuff.
Yeah. Dahmer and all them crazy.
There's a lot of,
But yeah, so... Anyways, go ahead, moving on.
They monitored stops, they monitored timing and behavior, but they didn't move in, not yet.
They needed DNA results to come back. They needed the affidavit to be airtight. They needed every piece evidence aligned before making an arrest.
So they followed from Indiana to Ohio to Pennsylvania.
Sorry, I was working. Agents watched the Elantra pull into gas stations. They watched it merge onto new highways. They watched it cross state lines.
I lost my spot.
Oh,
I found it.
You're fired.
They weren't just tracking a suspect, they were tracking a timeline, making sure he didn't flee, disappear, or change course.
You are hired again.
Thanks.
And all the while, the DNA analysts were nearing completion. The affidavit was being finalized, and the pieces were falling into place.
Be careful, he's starting to read.
Oh.
What?
He's got the horn, he's reading.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's fine. 4 people in 8 minutes. Is he John Wick? God, I remember John Wick.
Seriously.
You know, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's where there's a slight little debate on that timeline. Is either it was 8 minutes or it was 16 minutes.
Either or,
Yeah.
8 or 16,
It's
that's 4
still
people.
very short
yeah.
time.
I mean, I think Mark brings up a good point. Yeah, John Wick. I mean, seriously, that's crazy. You know, whether it's 8 minutes or
Do you
16.
think so this is going to sound really morbid and crazy. Do you think he practiced in his apartment and how fast he could move between rooms?
He might have.
Or
I
he
mean,
planned this and timed it had
some
to time it perfectly?
some of these killers that we've, covered in the past, they practice certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of, I mean, this is kind of ties into this a little bit, but I just watched a sentencing of a guy that actually in Ohio here, and he had killed his wife, and then the parents kept asking. They came down from Florida, or it might have been other way around. But anyways, they kept, asking. So he killed the parents to hide his murder because he couldn't figure out a way to respond to her parents. And they're like, well, we're coming down there. Well, then he is out in the front yard in plain sight for neighbors to see him. He's digging a hole because he's not strong enough to move the bodies. So what does he do? I'm not kidding. He sits in his house for months trying to bulk up by eating pizza so he can move the bodies. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And they just sentenced him to death in Florida this past week.
As
It was
they
on
should.
Friday. It was on Friday.
Yes,
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. We'll eventually get to that one. We will cover that one. Yeah. He
That's
wanted to
wild.
bulk up by eating pizza and a bunch of junk food
He bulked this way.
because he could not. Well, no, he's skinny. I seen him in court when he was being sentenced on Friday, and he's like 5 foot. He's like 5'4", 5'5", and he's probably all of about 130 pounds soaking wet. And he couldn't. He realized he couldn't move the body, so he was digging a hole in the front yard in plain sight, and the neighbors saw him. And then he got tired, and he's like, "I can't do this," so he went inside. I'm like, "What the hell?" So, David's cell phones can be tracked while in airplane mode as the GPS is still active. Apps will log the location, then report it when the phone reconnects. So he must have just shut the phone off then, if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
David's on it, man. David's got his own news channel. It's
Or he
called
wrapped it in foil or something, or who the hell.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
It's called David's News at 8.
The surveillance wasn't dramatic. It wasn't cinematic in the Hollywood sense. It was quiet, methodical, and precise.
Gilter's channel. I will move on. Realize it was a Gilter's channel. Gilter's channel. And I was leading to one moment, the moment investigators would move in. It was leading, not me. It was.
You were.
Quiet. Yeah, so December 30th, 2022, Albrightville, Pennsylvania, 1:30 a.m. A tactical team surrounds Bryan's family home. No sirens, no shouting, just the cold, controlled precision of the coordinated arrest. Arrest.
Good job.
See, I said it fancy. Not
Inside
really.
the house is dark. Kohberger is asleep. His parents are asleep. And no one knows that investigators have been tracking him for more than 2,000 miles.
The door opens, officers move in, and Bryan is taken into custody without incident. No chase, no resistance, just a quiet end to a long, silent surveillance.
He's transported to the Monroe County Correctional Facility. He waives extradition, and within days, he's flown back to Idaho to face charges.
When the affidavit was unsealed, the public finally saw evidence investigators had been building for weeks. It wasn't one detail, it wasn't one witness, it wasn't one piece of forensic data, it was the pattern.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had to, you know.
The affidavit laid out the white Hyundai Elantra circling the neighborhood, the cell phone data showing suspicious gaps, the digital movements, the timeline reconstruction, their surviving roommates' accounts, and the DNA link from the knife sheath.
The affidavit didn't tell the whole story, but it told enough to justify the arrest, enough to move the case forward, and enough to show the public that investigators had been methodical, patient, and precise.
Before we move deeper into the legal side, we need to talk about the autopsies. These are absolutely horrific.
Oh, yes. I should probably... You quite like the setup and the discussion. Well, thank you. Don't leave us, Mark.
Oh, we promise it's not a Guilters channel.
Yeah, we're not a Guilters channel, Mark.
Please stay.
Please stay. Please
Now,
stay.
We do have the documents from the autopsies. The amount that each of the victims was hurt, injured, stabbed is ridiculous. Madison Mogen was the one who had not only the stab wounds, but asphyxiation and blunt force trauma for her.
Mm-hmm.
Madison was that one. Kaylee, I can't remember how many times it was that she was stabbed. Xana, she was stabbed over 50 times and had defensive wounds, so she fought back.
Yeah, yes. I'll try to bring that autopsy report up. I just have to remember where exactly that it was at, but we will come back to it. I'll find it. So, anyways, moving on.
It's your words.
It's my words now.
It's your words now.
The autopsies confirmed the cause of death for all 4 victims. They established the approximate time of death. They helped the investigators understand the sequence of events inside the home.
The findings aligned with the timeline built from the CCTV, phone data, and witness accounts. They also helped rule out alternate theories.
This is where the medical examiner's work becomes crucial, not for the shock value, but for the clarity. Forensics isn't about drama, it's about precision.
Now, we're going to jump into the trial and then go back to his plea deal that he took. So for months, the public expected a trial, a long, complex courtroom battle filled with expert witnesses, forensic testimony, and cross-examinations. But behind the scenes, both sides were negotiating. The defense knew the DNA evidence was strong. The prosecution knew the families wanted closure. You're in segment 11.
What?
It moved
Segment 11.
You put the plea deal before the...
Oh my gosh. What is she doing over here? This is crazy.
My bad. You can give me the form again. Yeah.
Nope, you already got it.
Oh, good.
So you already read mine.
Yeah, that's why I left in the death
And
penalty.
the death penalty loomed over everything.
a trial would have taken years. It would have required the families to relive every detail. It would have been a national spectacle.
A trial would have taken years. Oh, that was you. Wow. Instead, the case took a different path.
On June 30th, 2025.
So did the show.
Shut up. David Cayley, 38 times. Madison, 28. Yes. And Xana was 67. Mark, according to the timeline, he was in there for 8 minutes. And how many stab wounds? No way one person did this. Thank you.
Hey,
Mark.
would you hold
Mark is on.
up.
Thank you, Mark. Mark, you're awesome. Okay, unsafe agrees too in here. Mark, we're best friends, buddy. We're best friends. Go ahead, Classroom Jackie. Go ahead. Mark's opened up the table for this now. We weren't going to go here yet.
We were going to go
Mark,
here.
Well,
you the man.
end.
You the man, Mark.
Even if you are loaded up with adrenaline, I mean, you got to be honest. You look at that number of stabbings. How tired would you be? I dare you to go outside with a cardboard box that's empty and try to stab that 120 times. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Even in 8 minutes or 10 minutes or even 20, like your arm's going to be falling off.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm telling you.
So I could see that. Like that's.
Yes. And okay.
And when you're doing the human body and you got
We're not-
bones.
I'm
Not
ready.
yet.
I mean,
I am ready.
Not yet.
No, I understand what you're saying, Chris. And I get what Mark's saying,
to a
too.
degree, I'm agreeing with you to a degree.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get what Unsafe saying, too, because she's on the same page.
Like if you looked at our ad for this week and the picture, it says who really did it.
True. So,
We're
get
not,
it.
Let us go into this part and then we can go into the debate, okay?
I hate this.
Okay, because if we go into the debate, we're never going to get past the rest of this. We know this. We've been here.
Fine.
On June 30th, 2025,
Mark said, thank you. I'm back.
Bryan Kohberger
Nice.
entered guilty pleas for all of the charges. He was charged with 1 count of burglary and 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Unsafe also made a good comment, especially with one person putting up a fight.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to get into
I tell you what, I'm just happy over here. Anyways, carry on. Okay.
It's your turn.
Oh, it is mine. Oh, under host 2? No, that's you.
I already read that twice.
Okay. And the families learned
You're so
about
ready to argue.
the families learned about the plea through an email with a letter attached.
You 100% skipped the he
I
did
don't
so to
care.
remove the death penalty from the table.
Listen, this isn't rehearsed.
Are we fighting?
I don't care. Oh yeah, I did jump. Cool. I do that on
Give him
purpose.
the horn. Twice.
Shut up with that stupid horn. So yeah, okay, instead the case took a different path and you read that. Okay. He did so to remove the death penalty from the table. The plea agreement made it explicit. Thank you. Don't give me the look. 4 fixed consecutive life sentences, no possibility of parole, no appeals, and no Rule 35 motion.
What is that?
Got me.
I'd be tired. That's true, Unsafe. I'd be tired too. There's no way in hell I could. I'm old and chunky, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Tim's been working on bulking up with pizza.
Here we go on
Not
this
working
now.
out.
Here we go.
3 tacos last night, didn't do it.
Are you gonna read over there, or what are we
I'm
doing?
looking up what a Rule 35 motion is. This wasn't a strategic delay. This wasn't a partial admission. This was the end of a legal battle.
And the families learned about the plea through an email with the letter attached.
A quiet notification for a life-altering moment. Now, the families of these victims, specifically, oh my gosh, Kaylee,
Mhm.
specifically Kaylee's parents are furious. It
Well,
was
yeah.
stated that they said, after more than 2 years, this is how it concludes, with a secretive deal and a hurried effort to close the case without any input from the victims' families on the plea deal. They feel like they were treated as opponents from the outset. They've been stated to say that they have felt like the system failed them and they needed to have some time. They also stated they weren't even called about the plea. They just received an email with the letter attached. about the plea deal.
And that's the thing with a lot of these that happen is, and I'm not trying to talk shit about like courts and the whole judicial system and this and that, but unfortunately, that stuff happens and it sucks, and you feel bad for the victims, families, and for the victims themselves that they can't, they can't rest in peace. They do these secretive plea deals and stuff, and then for the family to just get an email like that,
Yeah.
and it's like, that's got to be a
I'm
huge,
sorry,
slap in the face.
if my family member was one of the victims and that was how they treated it, I would have been outraged. I would have gone there and say, no, you cannot let him accept this deal. There needs to be trial. He needs to be held accountable.
Yeah. He was trying to take the easy way out for him. I mean, yeah, he's serving the 4 consecutive
And-
lives, but
You said you have what the Rule 35 is?
yeah, the Rule 35.
A Rule 35 motion allows a court to correct or reduce a defendant's sentence. It permits the correction of a sentence due to technical or clerical error within 14 days. It allows a sentence reduction based on substantial assistance to the government, often filed within 1 year of sentencing.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes. So Bryan was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, 4 consecutive life sentences, 1 for each victim.
The case that began with a 911 call, a white Elantra, a cross-country surveillance, and a community in fear ended not with a trial, but with a plea.
That's true, Mark. So the prosecution said there was no evidence he knew the victims. So why pick a house with 4 cars on the drive?
Right.
So that is one thing we do not know. We do not know the motive.
Yeah.
Or why.
Well, we're not going to, because he's going to end up taking that to his grave with him.
I think part of the plea was that he didn't have to tell what his motive was for it.
That was the
Could have been.
baffling part of this entire thing is why the hell? Why that house?
That's
why
just
those
it.
kids? Why?
That's just it. And he only knew the 2 girls from when he seen them at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Vegan restaurant where they worked.
But
and
we
that was
assume
it.
He saw 'em.
Well,
Just because he went there and they worked there, I mean.
Well, he said that. I think he said that he saw them there before when he testified. I think, if I remember correctly. But why it's so random, and only those 4 in the house, and 2 of them were left.
There were 6 in total.
6 in total, but 4 he
there.
killed, and 2. It's just crazy. And the fact that he walked right by the one in the doorway, too. I mean, yeah, she didn't say nothing, and they said that probably saved her life. But I don't know. She was able to see his, bushy eyebrows. So he had to have been right there. You can't tell me. I mean, maybe he didn't see her because he had a ski mask on, and that kind of limits your side vision, peripherals on the side, But
to go into a house with that many people, though, like, you got to think that you're a damn ninja. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
To think that you're going to go in there and be able to make it in, do that sort of thing, and walk out of there alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know he may not have actually known them.
Yeah, he didn't know them.
In a couple of things that we've watched and read, it said that he may have visited the Mad Greek and may have seen them there, but didn't actually know them.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, he definitely didn't know any of them, which is crazy on why it's just so random.
Now,
but anyways.
If you're ready to debate this and argue this, we can.
I don't know.
I have always thought it was one person, and this is where I'm going to go, but after everything and all the evidence and reading about the autopsies, how many times they were stabbed, things like those, there may have been somebody else. But again, there's only one set of footprints leading into there, and the knife sheath was the only other thing left was any kind of evidence or DNA.
So, one thing that they had, of course, with what Mark was saying up there too, and we were all saying, and unsafe too, with that, and Chris said it too, that's tiring for one person to do. And to leave kind of the mess behind that he left for being OCD with certain things. I'm not saying that he didn't leave that mess or leave the knife, because you never know when you're in that state of mind. I don't know. I'm not in that mindset that he was in, and then they found some latex gloves out back of the door with somebody else's DNA on it.
Right.
Yes, they had parties and stuff at that house, but people weren't coming to the parties with latex gloves on.
Right. And that's why I
So,
said, after all of the evidence, the things that we've seen, maybe there was somebody else there. And the only person they saw was Kohberger's eyebrows.
and he probably took the blame because the old saying, you know, he didn't want to snitch.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't want to snitch for some reason. I don't know. I don't know who else would have been involved.
Or he wanted to take credit.
Or he wanted to take credit.
But yeah,
That's.
I mean, he definitely is guilty. I mean, he definitely was a part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not saying that he.
But that's a lot of.
That's a lot of work.
Stabbing. That's a lot of work
for one person. It really is. I mean, it's pretty wild that you can.
Yeah, because Chris, you pointed out there's a huge difference between shooting somebody and stabbing. It's more.
It's personal.
It's personal.
It's more intimate, not personal. It's more intimate.
It's and
there's a hatred that goes along with that too.
Yeah,
you know that this makes you baffled that if you wanted somebody dead, you'd shoot at them or something like that. But when you're doing this sort of thing, like that's why, like what Mark said, like it's so baffling, because if you didn't know these people, how did you have like that kind of buildup of hatred for somebody or people, to be able to digest the idea of doing something like that? I mean, it's crazy.
It's true, but I'm a firm believer that there was somebody else involved too as well. You know, Mark and I became good friends over that, so I will always remember that, Mark. But even though you left and came back, but it's okay. So yeah, Bryan got fired from a job because he couldn't gut a fish. Oh God!
No shit. No. That's real. Like that. I mean, oh my God.
Oh man. Anyways, yeah, the 2-part series here. This is just a sad story for the victims, you know, families, everybody that was involved in this, except Bryan. You know, fuck him. I don't care about him. But
there's rumors I've heard that people are putting money on other prisoners' books that are in the same area as him in order to torture him in prison and give him shit. Right. Just make it living hell.
Well, I hope that they are, you know. But so yeah, it's the whole thing is just crazy.
We'll look that up when we get done. We may have missed that detail while we were looking at everything else.
That's wild.
It's hard. There's a lot of research when you get into a lot of this stuff. There's just so much research, you know. So it takes time, and you know, but to try to cover every last little detail on everything, it's tough, you know.
Yeah,
there's not enough
keep
time.
Keep an eye out, because we will start having files on the top of our Facebook with all of the documents we get, everything like that, so you guys can all look at it too.
Yeah, because I have documents coming from Freedom of Act, and you know, it's I got a bunch of that stuff coming. It just takes time. The Freedom of Act said it takes a few weeks and this and that. So anyways, next week we will be covering, my girlfriend actually brought this up. This is a good one.
Ooh.
This is a good one. So we're going to be covering the toy box killer. And that's a twisted story right there. I started looking into a little bit of that last night, and that's a pretty twisted one there. So yeah, that's who we're going to be covering, next week. Other than that, that pretty much wraps it up for tonight, and to end the 2-part series here, Idaho 4. So we do appreciate everybody listening in, per usual. Thank you. And we will be back here next week to cover the toy box killer. And other than that, I will let Classroom Jackie take us out of here.
Same crime time, same crime place.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
See ya.